Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games, back with another cool pinball-ish video for you this evening. We have been working on, if you've been watching, these 1984 Williams Pennant Fever pitch and bat machines that are kind of like pinball machines, but not quite. And they're just baseball machines. And I'll show you why they're called pitch and bat here in a minute. But we finally got them fixed, and we're going to play them and have fun with them. Now, in the middle of these two pitch and bats here in our showroom, we have our old Bally Rapid Fire set up. If you haven't seen, we did some videos on that a while back. Go check it out. It's another weird machine. So we figured we'd put all the weird ones right next to each other, just for giggles. I might fix another weird one and put it right there. What do you think? Maybe. Okay, so if you haven't been watching, we have done, I think, 7 different videos on these things, because I was trying to fix both of them at one time, and we finally got them both fixed and all up and running and doing their thing. Now, the one has the attract sound turned on, so here in a minute it's going to play its attract music, and I'll stop talking whenever it does so you can hear it. I didn't realize till we did several of these videos and people started commenting on them, I didn't even think about that internationally in a lot of places people might not even be into baseball or even know like the rules of baseball or anything, because we had somebody commenting about the theme song that it was playing. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. But let's check it out. So this is 1984. It's a pitch and bat machine, which is just a baseball game. You literally have a little bat you hit little balls with. Williams had done a ton of these. This was just their latest, so charge. This was just their latest. So this was a Williams System 8 pinball MPU that ran these things. And the System 7 was stuff like, I keep getting this messed up. I noticed before whenever I thought Gorgar was a System 7, but it was actually a System 6. Stuff like Firepower Gorgar they had been doing before this. And then they got up to, they designed a new board system, their System 8 board. They released this one game on it, didn't like the design, changed it a little bit, and made it System 9, which Space Shuttle used their System 9 electronics. Didn't like that, ended up changing it to System 11. And so you had things like, I should have turned this on. You had things like the Mighty Pinbot were System 11. Let's see if it's on. I see you. Now it's going to be making music and noise the whole time too. So that was System 11, but these were System 8s, and this is the only released game that came out on the Williams System 8 platform. There was a prototype that there are a few floating around. If you want to go see a video of one of those, Todd Tuckey at TNT Amusements had a video of one. I think it's Pinbot sees us. I think it was called Gridiron, but there was a prototype game, and then I think another one that never even got out of development or something like that. And by then they moved on to System 9. So, but we got them all up and running. And if you watch the older videos, you can see us working on everything from the boards to the sound section to the power supplies to the displays to the light bulbs to the bat mech, the pitching mech, all that stuff. So we've went through them extensively. Now there's a couple changes on this from the released version. The start button's different. So this operator had added a bigger start button. It was smaller on the original one. And then the bat button is different. On a that little metal triangular thing there originally had a smaller button in it that was like chrome. But for whatever reason, we got this from both of these from the same operator, and for whatever reason he updated all of his. Maybe he had problems with the bat buttons. And he put a little light on them too, so they light up. This one over here is not quite as good of a shape cosmetically, and this is also the one that had the extensive battery damage on it. We touched up the cabinet a little bit, but we didn't go overboard with it. They both have pretty nice back glasses. We'll check that out here in a minute. And this one has a little bit nicer playfield, but this one's pretty nice too. Well, nice enough, right? Pennant Fever, 1984. Let me turn down the brightness of the camera so you can kind of get an idea of what the colors look like on the back glass. That's about what it looks like here in person. So the Williams logo, obviously. It's a little bit faded. It's kind of like a, what would you call that? Mauve. Salmon. It's like a salmon color. Originally it was a little darker. I don't know why that spot's still a little darker, but it was originally a little more red. And some of these up here have faded too. But all in all, it looks pretty good. This guy's got a Williams jersey on. He's playing for the Williams baseball team. Look at him. That must be Don Mattingly. Oh, he's pitching though. What position did Don Mattingly play? I don't think he was a pitcher, was he? Maybe. And then look at this guy over here. Who does he look like? I'm not sure who that is. But just, you know, these are real easy, man. I mean, if it's a baseball game, the art doesn't have to be anything crazy. You just do baseball stuff. So there's a pitcher's mitt and a ball. There's some pennants and flags. They came up with a cool baseballish name, Pennant Fever. They'd probably already done 50 other names by this time. On the very first video we did of these, if you go back and watch that, we show some other pitching bats that we have in storage. And they're called things like Grand Slam and World Series and Major League and Hit and Run and stuff like that. So they're all baseball stuff. Very cool. And you'll notice on the displays, you have a visitor's score, a home score. You've got a number of outs, that's at 0. You've got a number of strikes that will light up later, and a number of innings, that's at 0. So a few people online were telling me that they didn't even know about the rules of baseball, so I'll go over it real quick. Now, I am not a baseball player, but when I was a kid, I played it a little bit, and I've watched my fair share. And I understand because I don't know anything about rugby. Don't know how to play it. I don't even really know how to play soccer. Who knows? I'm looking at look, there's a light bulb up there to burn out. Look at that. It's always something. Let's look at this one. Same light bulb's not burn out. There we go. So, I understand there's certain stuff that, you know, if it's just not played much in your country, you might not know about it. So, but it's a real simple game. So, and again, I'm no expert on it. So if I get something wrong, I'm sure everybody will tell you down in the comments below. But you have two teams. You got a team that is trying to score, and you got a team that is trying to defend, right? Which is pretty it's like that usually in most sports. So you got a batter, this guy with the bat, and then behind him is standing the catcher, and this is the umpire who's judging it. Now the reason that you need this guy is because he's watching to see if the ball goes right over home plate. Because if it goes over home plate, you should be able to hit it based on the size of the bat and where you're standing. So you're standing in the batter's box. There's one on each side, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed. So you have to stand in the batter box, and then this pitcher is going to throw the ball, and it has to go over the plate, and then you try to hit it, okay? Now, and then the catcher catches it, right? So the pitcher just throws it from him to the catcher. Now, what happened originally, I guess, now I wasn't there, but you start getting a few guys who can hit it every damn time and can hit it really good, right? And so you started getting pitchers who can throw it a little tricky. So they can throw it really fast, faster than you've ever seen, and they get that damn thing from the pitcher's mound all the way down here to the catcher so quick that you can't possibly swing and hit it. You won't even see the damn thing, right? So Nolan Ryan, for instance, was up over 100 miles an hour with his fastball. And other guys too, but Nolan was always the guy I always heard about. So they would actually put a I guess they still do. I'm sure they still do. They would put a radar gun on the freaking baseball, and he was throwing it over 100 miles an hour. So most games have 9 innings, and these guys throw so damn hard that they get worn out after a while, and they're not quite as good as they were to start the game. So usually the pitcher is replaced after maybe the 6th inning or something like that, because he starts getting a little tired. The ball starts getting a little slower. They bring in a new guy who might be an expert at coming in at the end and winning the game, right? Every once in a while, you'll have a guy play the whole damn game, and sometimes he'll even get every once in a while you'll get a pitcher that gets a no-hitter. This is all super, there's tons of statistics, and we can talk about it all night, but I'll just give you the basics. So anyway, that's the whole purpose of the game. Now the pitchers can throw the ball several different ways, but usually they break it down into 3 different ways. So on this game they do 2. So you can throw a fastball where it goes super fast. You can throw a changeup, because the fastball is usually what's thrown each time. So a changeup is you throw it slow just to try to screw them up. So if they're swinging super fast for it, the really good pitchers will make it look like they're going to throw a fastball, but instead of throwing it real fast, it comes down real slow. So you swing before the ball ever even gets to the damn plate. Brilliant, right? And then you can throw a curveball where the guy throws the ball, it goes way over here and then comes back in, but it has to go over home plate. So what happens if it doesn't go over home plate? Well, it gets called as a ball. And so in baseball, you can get 4 balls. So let's say that the pitcher tries to throw one way over here where it's on this side of the plate, right? He's way over here. If you don't swing at it, the umpire will see that it wasn't over home plate, so it wasn't fair, and the umpire will call a ball, right? Okay, so anyway, once you get 4 balls from the pitcher, you walk, which means you get to go to first base for free. Because the son of a bitch won't throw a good ball to you, right? So sometimes if you get a really good batter, Babe Ruth, the pitcher will just throw the ball way the hell over here, and the catcher will go over here and just stand over here, and they'll throw the ball 4 times over here. And they're walking the guy. They don't even want a chance throwing the ball at the guy where he might be able to hit it, right? And so this guy goes over to first and stops, right? So, but if it goes over the plate and you don't hit it, that's a strike. If you get 3 strikes, you're out. If 3 batters get out, then the inning's over, or the team's reverse and the other team's up. Once both teams play, 3 outs, the inning's over. And there's 9 innings in a baseball game. So another way you can get an out is if you hit the ball and somebody catches it. I love how it goes 3 and then he goes strike. Awesome. So cool, man. So cool. So if you hit the ball and one of the guys catches it, you're out. Now, if you knock it all the way out of the damn park, it's a home run. And you get a run all the way around the bases, and you get a run. But let's say you get a guy on first. He was walked to first, and then the next guy hits one, and he barely gets to first, and the first guy gets to second. And then the next one does the same thing, and you got a guy on first, second, and third. And then a guy comes up. If he knocks it out of the park, that's called a grand slam, because he gets to run, and it pushes all the other 3 guys in. So you get 4 home runs. All right? That's kind of the gist of it. But there's 9 innings back and forth, and it's a super fun game. Fun, fun, fun. All of the guys playing. I don't remember which league it is, but in there's 2 leagues, and in one of the leagues, all of the guys playing defense always bat. But in the other league, I believe they can have designated hitters. I may have that wrong. It may just be the pitcher that doesn't. I don't remember. People will clue you in down below that are more into it than me. But it was considered, back in the day, America's pastime. Because you got to think, back in like the 40s and the 50s when baseball was really big, the TV wasn't really even around yet, you know. And the internet wasn't around. Nobody had cell phones to play on all day. The Nintendo hadn't been invented yet. There was no Sony PlayStation. So people were entertained in different ways. So sports games, public sports games like this were even bigger back then than they are now. But I guess that was before the NFL too. When did the NFL start? I don't know. So anyway, baseball was a big deal. And in 1984, you still had enough people. Now, it's still a big deal, but it's not, in my opinion, as big of a deal as it used to be. Maybe it is, and I just don't realize it. But back in the day, it was something that the whole country really got into. And then whenever TV came around, and you could watch some of the games on TV in the 50s, holy smokes. So you had these big legendary personalities. Like you had Babe Ruth, you had Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, Lou Gehrig. Some people looked at people like Lou Gehrig as a bigger hero than like military people, you know. And I'm not trying to be any political or say anything like that, but like people looked up to guys like that. Like Lou Gehrig was like, he contracted a rare, or developed a rare disease and had to retire at the height of his popularity, and gave a big speech to the fans telling them not to feel sorry for him, and whew, man, it was something.
That I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
And so back then, baseball was well loved by Americans. I mean, it was a hell of a thing. Now it's gone a little bit more international, so maybe it'll come to you someday soon if you're in another country, right? But anyway, so one of our people was commenting on one of the other videos. They said, hey, I know where I heard that song. It was in Abbott and Costello's Who's on First little skit that they did. Their little, what do they call those? The bit. It was on their bit. It was in their bit, right? So at the beginning of the Abbott and Costello Who's on First bit, which they probably did hundreds of times, but there's a video of it that everybody's seen. Who's on First, which is, of course, about baseball. And they play that song on it. So he was mentioning that that's where he'd heard that song before. So it got me thinking, wow, there's people out there that don't know what that song is. But it makes sense because it's a, you know, if you're not into baseball, maybe you never heard it. But in America, everybody knows what that damn song is, even if you're not really a big baseball guy. Like I said, I don't even watch baseball anymore. And I'm a little shaky on the rules even. But that song is ingrained in people in the United States. So whenever this game plays that song, it's just it's helping you feel like you're at the ballpark. So if you ever go see a live baseball game, they always play that song, always. And whenever this one does it does it with an organ. Well, that's how they usually play it in the park. I guess back in the day they probably played it on a real organ, but now it's just a recording they play of an organ. But it's called Take Me Out to the Ball Game. So here's the deal, okay? There's 9 innings in the game. And usually, at most games, they have what's called the 7th inning stretch. So you sit there and you watch people play the whole game, a couple hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, and you get up to the 7th inning. And, you know, maybe one's ahead, maybe the other one is, who knows. But halfway through the 7th inning, so the inning starts, one team plays, gets 3 outs, who knows how many runs, maybe 0, maybe 50. And then that's the middle of the 7th inning, and they call that the 7th inning stretch. So in the 7th inning stretch, they usually play that song. And they claim that the tradition of the 7th inning stretch is that one of the presidents went to see one of the games, and halfway through the 7th inning, when one team was running off the field and the other team was running out, he stood up to stretch because he'd been sitting down for an hour and a half. And whenever he did, there it is. So when he got up the stretch, everybody in the crowd thought that he was leaving. It might have been President Taft, I don't know. Everybody thought he was leaving, so they all stood up out of respect, the whole crowd, right? But he was just stretching, so he sat back down, and everybody else sat back down. So they kind of made it a tradition where halfway through the 7th inning, everybody stands up to stretch. Just move your feet, move your hands. And they play that song as kind of like an audience participation thing. So that song is from like 1908 or something like that, or maybe even older, and it's about the game of baseball. And so everybody that goes to a baseball game knows this song, and what they'll usually do, if it's a big game, they'll have some celebrity come out that's in the audience, and they'll have a microphone or something, and they'll start singing the song and get the whole crowd to sing it along with them. So all of my American brothers and sisters will know the song. They can sing along with me. But if you're overseas, you probably don't know it, right? But that melody, that's pretty much the whole song. I think there's other verses to it, but nobody ever sings those. And they usually sing it a little slower in the 7th inning stretch. But they also will play that on the organ sometimes just halfway through the game just for the hell of it. So whenever they're waiting on something, you know, maybe the guy came out to talk to the pitcher or something, the coach or something, they'll play something on the organ just so that everybody's not just sitting around waiting on something. But so the song goes like this, okay? And everybody knows this song. So if you go to the game, everybody sings along with this. And usually they'll have a celebrity who can't sing very well, and the whole crowd is kind of belligerent. And by that time, everybody's about half drunk. So you're not even supposed to sing it very well. You're just supposed to sing along with it. And you know, if you're from Europe, I mean, I know you folks are doing this stuff too. Like all you people watching in Ireland, I mean, I know you know what it's like to go to a game and get drunk and sing along with the crowd, right? But in America, it goes like this. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never come back. Oh, whoa, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out in the old ball game. So there you go. All right. So we're going to play it a little bit. Which one should we play first? We'll play both of them. We'll try this one first and see if it plays any different. As I remember, whenever we fixed it, the curve was a little different on this one than that one. So we'll set up the tripod and check them out. All right, we're going to check it out. Now, I'll call out the outs and strikes and innings. Oh, and the part about the balls and the strikes. If you actually, this one won't be like that, but because they can't tell if the ball goes over the plate. So they can't do balls on this machine. There may have been some that could, but these don't. They don't even try to count balls. But in a real baseball game, you can get 4 balls and then you walk. But if you swing at the ball and hit it out of bounds, that's considered a strike. But if you can't strike out by doing that. So on the third one, it doesn't count. So if you're hitting it, knocking it out of bounds every time, you will never strike out. It's just on they have to either catch it or get it by you to actually strike you out on the last strike. Now also here on the back, they have, the way the game works is they have little things hanging down that say single, double, triple, double, and single, and then there's 2 that are out. And so those represent the fielders. So you'll either get a single, a double, a triple, or an out. Now, in the real game, if you knock the ball and they can't get to it in time, it's going to take them a couple seconds to go over there and get the ball and then throw it back. And so you can you can make it to first base if you hit the ball and they don't catch it because they can't get it to first base to tag you out quick enough. Also, you'll notice in a real game that people don't usually stand on the actual base. They'll be off of it because you can steal base. So like if you're on first, you can't do it in this game though, but in some I'm sure you could. So if you're on first base and the pitcher's not paying attention, you can just run to second base. What the hell is he going to do? He ain't going to do nothing. But if he does do something and he sees you doing it, if he catches you doing it, he can turn around and throw the ball to the second baseman, and the second baseman tags you with the ball, you're out. But, you know, in a really good game, whenever you're behind a couple points and you got to get some damn points, people do desperate things, so people try to steal base, and it's a freaking fun game. If you've never played baseball, what the hell are you waiting for? It's so fantastic. Now you're all going to tell me how good rugby and what's the other one? Cricket. How good rugby and cricket is. I understand. It's probably really fun. All right, so let's check it out. Oh, and there's a ramp right there. So if the ball hits that ramp, it'll pop up into the upper deck, maybe. And if it does, you get a home run because you knocked it out of the park. All right. Oh, and if you're playing a one-player game, you can't control the pitches. The game throws a random pitch at you so that you don't know, just like in a real game, whether he's going to throw a fastball, a changeup, or a curveball. So you hit the button, and one of the 3 pitches comes out. All right. So I bounced it off the wall, and he got an out. In a real game, that wouldn't work like that. I guess if you bounced it off the... I don't know if it's like that in a real baseball game. If you bounce it off the top of the rail and then the guy catches it because it never hit the... I don't know. I think it would still be a foul ball. But anyway. But on this one, they can't do fouls. So you end up at the end of the playfield. Or the ball comes back down and it's called a strike because it got past you. They can't tell. They can tell that you swung the bat because they only let you swing once. But they can't tell if you hit it until it hits a switch. Ah! You see that? He got me with the changeup. I couldn't tell, so I swung too early. So I got a single, so I ended up on first base. All right, you might have saw that one curve just a little bit. That's kind of how this machine does. It curves it just a little bit and it comes back. But then I got an out, so we got 2 outs now. On this particular game, too, there's an arrow up here. There's 3 of them that can light up. So there's 3 places you can hit a home run. If you hit this ramp, the ball goes up in the top. Well, if you do the one that's lit up, you actually get 2 home runs. It's not like that in real baseball, but it's just something they added to this game to make it more fun. All right. So I popped it up the ramp. Knocked it up in the left one, which wasn't lit up with the arrow. It's over here now. Knocked it up in that one, so I got 1 home run. But since I'm running and the guy's on first base, I pushed him all the way around the home base. So now we got 2 runs. And that resets your strikes because the strikes are per batter. So we're still in the first inning. We've got 2 runs, and I've got 2 outs already. Ah! So that one's the charge. Charge! But, so I got an out. So that's 3 outs. That's the end of the inning. Now, in a regular baseball game, the teams would switch. The other team would bat. And then you would go field, right? But on this game, since I'm playing a one-player game... Did you hear that? The charge was a little different on that one. But since I'm playing a one-player game, I'm just going to the next inning. So now it's second inning, and I got two runs. Single again. Out. Out again. So I got 2 outs in the second inning. Come on. All right. Beginning of the third inning. Oh, and on this game, in the setup, you can change the number of innings. The way it shipped from the factory was you got 3 innings for a quarter. But you can change it to have 10 if you want. I've got it set on 3 innings like it was originally. Ooh. Did you see the curve on it? Curve's pretty good. You're going to see a curve on this other one. It curves too much sometimes. All right, so we got a double that time. And a single. And so when this guy went to first, since there was time, this guy stole third. Like he ran on the third. It's not really stealing because the ball's way out there. They can't possibly tag you out. All right, 1 out. I need a home run is what I need. Drive him in. There's a double, so I got a run on that one. So now I got 3 runs. Ooh, it's a nice curve. Did you see that? All right, so that drove in 2 more. Now I got 5 runs. Oh, oh, come on. All right, so I figured out you can cheat. So it has a thing built in where it pitches the ball, and then in case there's some kind of malfunction, you can pitch again, like if the ball didn't get shot. So sometimes if you hit it and the ball bounces around and doesn't hit one of the switches, you can swing, you can pitch again, and then it'll pitch again, and then if you hit it and that ball hits a switch before that other one gets down out, you can pick up like a run, or I mean a score, a base, whatever. But you got to do it quick. I didn't do it quick enough. All right, we're up to 6 runs, but this is the second out of the 3rd inning, so one more out and I'm done. Got a single. Another single. Got 7 runs. Oh! Wait. Oh, they counted both. Okay, so I tried to, since it was coming down, I tried to throw another ball, right? And I did it, and I hit a home run, but since I was, it counted it as a strike, you know, it didn't count it as a, it didn't count it as an out, because it just went past me. So if the ball comes back down, eventually it's going to count as a strike, but whatever. I guess it would only matter if it was on your last strike. You might try to beat it. All right, so I got 10 runs now. Single. Oh. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out in the old ball game. Okay, so I got 10 whole freaking points. That's nothing. That shouldn't even count. All right, let's go over to the other one, see if it's any better. Now this one, this one is going to have the craziest freaking curveball. All right, let's do it. So it'll randomly, I'll show you here in a minute. I'll play a 2-player so you can see when you can actually control the balls. Whoa, hell. That was way too much of a curve. So that's going to have to be repaired. That's too much. See how it curved and then went way back behind them. So, I mean, you can't even possibly hit it. It doesn't. That's a single. It doesn't always do that, though. And the thing is, I put the same magnet in both of them, so I don't know why we're getting that, but I'll figure it out. There's also an adjustment on the bat. I may have this. We changed the leg levelers on this to make the pitch more steep, so the bat may not be strong enough now. Single. It's throwing me a lot of curveballs. That was a curve as well. All right, so I got 2 runs and 1 out. Oh, come on. 2 outs. I got 3 runs. William Tell overture. All right, so 2nd inning. Yeah, buddy, that's how you do it. But that curveball's wicked on this one. Screw 'em. All right, so I got 6 runs and 1 out, but it's the 2nd inning already. So I got the home run where the arrow was, so I get 2 runs. But the bat must be strong enough. I mean, it hit the glass and gave me the run, so I don't know. But yeah, see how much it curved? And you can't swing twice. In real baseball, you can't swing twice either. Not that you'd be able to anyway, but woo! Now, people have asked about the ball hitting the glass on pinball machines. If it does that, usually something's misadjusted. It shouldn't really do that. Some games just kind of have inherent design flaws where it does that. This one has that ramp right in the middle, and I mean, it's trying to get the ball up in the air. So if that thing's adjusted just a little different than that one, it might hit the glass more often. But that one I've hit the glass on many times too. But the important thing to know about that is I have never, ever, 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 ever heard of a pinball breaking the playfield glass by hitting it. It's not a thing. It's a little scary, a little annoying. You hear the snap and it makes you think that something's going to break, but I've never heard of that happening anywhere. Ooh, I swung a little too, well, I don't know if I swung too early or if the bat, I might try cranking up this bat. Ooh, see that? So I got completely screwed on that one. Nice little triple. A single drove the triple in, so I got 11 runs. Another single. Triple off of the weird curve. So how would I fix that? I don't, for whatever reason, this one's acting different than that one. I'm probably going to have to, I don't know. I might have to move it a little bit or something. Maybe it's mounted in there a little different. It could be that on the board, maybe one of the transistor that runs the coil, maybe it's different on this one than that one, or I don't know. Ah! All right, 2 outs in the second inning. I got 14 runs. Ah! They're killing me with these outs. Okay, third inning has begun. 14 runs. But man, that one was crazy. Nice strong double. Got 1 out so far. Single. Another single. Drove that one home. Got 15 runs. Oh! I tried to cheat another one, but it didn't work. It hit the glass, but it bounced off the front of the upper deck. Charge. All right, so 15 runs, 2 outs in the third inning, bases loaded. You see this, right? It's telling me that the bases are loaded. Oh, come on. Okay, so I got a single, which gave me a run, but I guess I didn't really have to do that because it was just going to, when the ball got back down, it was just going to be a strike. Another single, 17 runs, base is still loaded. Ah! All right, so we'll go back over to this one because it doesn't have the crazy curve, and we'll play a 2-player just so we can watch the pitches. So when you played a 2-player version of this in the arcade, you wouldn't want your buddy knowing which pitch you're going to throw, so you could actually hide, you know, so that it opens up the 3 buttons to where they can all work, you know, so that you can control the pitches. So that's a 2-player game. So now I have a score on the visitors team and the home team. So the first player, you know, you can pick whoever, but the first player is pitching. So I'm going to show you the 3 different pitches. And I just won't swing so that it doesn't mess it up. So this is the fastball. Another fastball. And here's the changeup. See how it's noticeably slower? So that guy's out, okay? So, fastball. Fastball, now the curveball. Ooh. The curveball didn't curve very much. I want to get it to curve just so you can see what it's doing. It's the way it works, if you didn't see the other videos, is it throws the ball, and right when it gets about here, there's a magnet that turns on, and it makes the ball move. And so it kind of curves it around it and back in. And it can do it either way, depending on how it comes out of the pitching mechanism. All right, so curveball. You can kind of see it that time. Curveball. You see how it worked that time. Fastball. All right. So that was the third out of the first inning, but it's only half of the first inning. Now it's the other team's turn. So now on the back glass, the home score is flashing. And so you and your buddy would switch. And so now your buddy can, or you can throw whatever ball you want at your buddy and try to get him where he can't hit it. Fastball. Fastball. Fastball out. Curveball. Yeah, I saw it curve a little bit. Curveball. Oh! Yeah! I got 6 runs, and so the light was lit up. I guess we should read the instructions to see if it doubles all of the runs. Center field home run scores double when lit. But I wonder if the guys running that run in also get 2. So it says on the instructions, Pennant Fever, upper deck awards home run, double score on home run when lit. 1 pennant with grand slam home run. Consecutive home runs increase the home run multiplier. Second player selects the pitch. 1 replay after 30 runs. 10 pennants award a replay. Okay, so you get a pennant if you hit a grand slam. And if you get 10 pennants, you get a replay. Or you get a replay if you get 30 runs. The pennants hold over, too, from game to game. This one over here has had 3 pennants on it because when we've been testing it, we've hit 3 grand slams. The one on the right. So it holds over and hangs on to that. So all of this stuff was just little tweaks that it made to it because, you know, how many different ways can you make the same exact baseball game? So they would come up with little things like if the light's on, you get double and stuff like that. All right, so that's the end of the first inning. So now we're on to the second inning. I'm just throwing the fastball each time now. Oh, man. Strike 1. That's 2 outs. 0-6 still. I'm beating the hell out of myself. I finally got a run. Yeah! All right. So I got 3 runs out of that, so it's 4-6. Five to 6. All right, so second inning, home team. Single. Oh, strike. I mean out. Okay, guy on first, guy on second. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. Top of the third. 1 out. Oh, I didn't quite hit it. All right, so I got a guy on first. Guy on second and third. Guy on first and third, and one ran in, so it's tied up 6-6. Oh, hell. So I had it, but it bounced off the glass and off the top deck. All right, bottom of the 6th. This is the last inning. So this guy, if he gets 1 run, he wins. It's a single. Oh no, that's an out. 1 out. Guy on first. Oh no. Oh no. I did not think it would come down to this. We got 2 outs. It's the bottom of the last inning, and it's all tied up 6-6. I wonder if on this game they let you. I wonder if they let you continue if it's tied. Probably not, because you just stand there and keep missing. And they wouldn't want you to do that. I guess the game would just end with a tie score on this. All right, so I got 2 outs. This is my last batter. If he strikes out, or he gets an out. Ah, damn it! Oh, it went to the 4th inning. Okay, cool. Well, now we know. So it did, since it was tied, it went to an extra inning. Very cool. Just like a real game. Ain't that cool? So if it's a 2-player game, if it's a 1-player game, you can't be tied anyway, but if it's a 2-player game and you tie, it just lets you keep going. First base. And a real baseball game is a lot like this. You get usually when you hit the ball, they catch it. Guy on second and third. Failed to score. So now it's back to the home team. Let's see if I can take it home, bring it home. Oh, you know what would be neat is since I'm in an extra inning, would it, you know, it doesn't, the extra inning light is not lit up though. I wonder what the hell's going on. It would not, I wonder if it will let me win if I just get if I get a run. Do I win the game? Like in a real baseball game. Okay, it's a single. Ah, come on. It's 2 outs. Guy on first. Ah. All right, they ended the game there. So now they just let me play 1 extra inning. So it just tied it at 6-6. All right, well, that's how they chose to do it. I think you may be able to change that in the manual. It may let you change all of those settings. So there you go. Pretty cool. That's Williams Pennant Fever. We finally got them both running. Boy, they look good. Oh, I didn't play it with the lights on. Sorry. If you need a night light, you'll have to go watch somebody else's video. But there you go. So leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Look, I don't have I keep finding little things I still have to do. Like I've got the coin door lights on this one, but on those 2 I haven't replaced the bulbs yet. And there's 1 light bulb on this one that's out again. I got to go check that out. But they're pretty much done. So leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Do you remember playing these back in the day? Did you play another one, like another title? Maybe it wasn't Pennant Fever. It was something else. Let us know what it was. And we'd like to thank everybody that's been using all of our Amazon links. If you don't know about that, if you click our links below, if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, it gives us a little royalty of whatever you buy on Amazon. You don't have to buy anything specific. Just click our link, and that means we sent you there, so they pay us a little commission for that. So thank you for everybody that's been doing that. We had somebody on there buying a router earlier. I saw that. Whoever that was, thank you very much. We appreciate it. So give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. And if you haven't heard, my brother Donnie is going famous worldwide. If we have another channel here on YouTube called My Brother Donnie, and it's literally My Brother Donnie has started a channel, and it's about farming. He's working on old buildings, working on old cars. It has nothing to do with pinball machines or arcade games, but he's a pretty interesting guy. Go check him out. The link is here in the video somewhere. It should pop up at the top, actually. You can go check him out and subscribe to him. I'm over there with him a lot. We're working on an old grocery store right now. We were doing some electrical work just the other day, so we'll see how that all turns out. And that's just, there's a bunch of crazy stuff he's been doing lately I could tell you about, but it might get us all in trouble and kicked off YouTube, so you'll have to go figure it out by watching this channel. But thank you for everybody that's been subscribing over there. Thanks for clicking the Amazon links, and leave your comments below. We will see you on the next video. We had a little cameo by the Penbot. It's coming up soon. So we'll see you whenever we're working on the Penbot. Look, I had replaced them. They just don't shine through the front. What in the world? I wonder if George did that.